Marriage after baby.
Marriage? Husband? What was his name again?
Yes, you are still married. But parents after having a baby often find themselves in a situation where they have less resources, less time, less money, less finances in order to develop their relationship because it's all going into the kids, the baby. So here are 10 tips for you to help your marriage thrive even after baby comes along. Number 1, it's very important to develop communication skills even before you give birth, because this is going to be the key factor in how you get through all the issues that arise once you have that baby and when you're raising your children for the rest of your lives together. There's always going to be a difference of an opinion. How you work that out with your communication skills is very important. Number 2, schedule. Who's going to do what? You don't want to end up in a situation where you wake up in the middle of the night and the baby's crying and you're each waiting for the other one to get the baby. Who's going to do that? Whose responsibility is what? It's so important to work these things in advance with a clear conversation, communication, so there's no resentment built up. Money. How are you going to deal with added expenses, less income? Are you going to get extra help? How are you going to work that? So important to discuss in advance how you're going to deal with the money situation. Number 4 is sex. It all comes down to how is this going to work now? Once you have a baby, of course, you really have to discuss it. The first 6 weeks are, time off. But after that, you might be tired. You're going to end up probably being in a situation where your husband's expecting something and you're not ready to put forth. You're tired at the end of the day. You didn't get enough sleep. It's just a big job being with a baby and kids, right? But this is a conversation that's got to be had at some point, and better to have it in advance to see how you can work things out. But at the end of the day, once you've finished your recovery after you had the baby, it's really important to go that extra mile in your marriage, to dress up, put on your makeup and make your hair nice, make yourself look pretty every day, and be there for your husband. Make the extra effort, get yourself a babysitter so that you can make your relationship a top priority. Your husband will appreciate it, and that means at the end of the day, you will too. Number 5, discipline. How are you going to handle disciplining the children? This is a big topic. I mean, your husband could have grown up one way and you grew up a different way. How are you going to work this out? What are your plans? And if you're not sure, feel free to check out. You might want to take my free 3-part course on how to get your kids to listen and love you. I highly recommend it. Check it out in the link. Yeah. Number 6, sleep. What are the sleeping arrangements going to be? Where is this baby going to sleep? In whose room? In whose bed? For how long in your room? This is definitely worth a conversation because you might have totally different expectations of how this is going to go. And what about if the baby you can't figure out how to get the baby to sleep at night? Are you going to enlist a baby sleeping trainer? If you do want one, by the way, I highly recommend this one lady who saved my life. Check it out in the link below. You might really want to check it out if you are not surviving the day or the night. Number 7 is build support. It used to be that we all lived in these little towns and everyone had their parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles and everyone living nearby, and they had the support of family. But it's not always like that nowadays, So it's really important to figure out, where's your support going to come? How are you going to manage after birth? Having a new baby it's a life-changing event. Who's going to support you? Very, very good idea to work that out in advance. Your family, your friends, maybe even if somebody sends you a couple meals after birth, that's a big support and a big help. How are you going to deal with cleaning your home? Who's going to be in charge of shopping? Dealing with this in advance, figuring out who your support is really going to be a help for you. Number 8, be happy with your husband's parenting styles. There's nothing worse that a father feels like he's always being criticized of whatever he does. You don't hold the baby right, you don't talk to them right, no, this is how you have to do it, let me show you, as if they don't know anything about parenting. A father needs to feel that he's respected and that he knows what he's doing with his child and to know that he's appreciated. Otherwise, what ends up happening is they sort of go off and do their own thing and expect that you'll take care of the kids. So don't set that up. Make sure that you compliment your husband on his parenting styles. Tell him he's a great father. Appreciate what he does with the kids. Number 9, don't be so quick to judge your husband if he doesn't understand why you're tired and overwhelmed. Tired and overwhelmed is something that us women go through after we have a baby, and usually men just don't understand because they've never been there. But don't be so quick to jump down his throat, because the truth is that no one could ever understand you unless they've been there and done that. Give him time to understand, to just, go with the flow. Remember, you're overwhelmed from a baby. He's overwhelmed from a baby and a wife who's overwhelmed, so cut him some slack. Number 10, which is really number 1, is make your relationship a priority. Make sure you've got that date night. Make sure you invest the time and energy. Get babysitting help if you need, but you've got to make sure that your date night, your priority is with your husband and nurturing your relationship. And make sure that you always share funny, exciting, happy things with him, not just your complaining and overwhelming. Because at the end of the day, every husband wants to have a happy and upbeat wife. And becoming that happy and upbeat wife, even when you've got a baby and little kids, that's all part of becoming a miracle maker mom.